Scorpios, we have the sun and the moon for your reading for this week. Now, what does that mean? The sun and the moon is just basically your day and your night. It's your life, right? So what this is saying is that there's nothing in particular. You're going with the flow. You're going with the crowd. You're kind of going with, you're doing what needs to be done this week, and you're just letting yourself be steered by the events. You know, somebody calls you, you're like, you want to come over and hang out. You're like, okay. You're just kind of like going with the flow, and that's how you're kind of going through life right now. Now, I picked up a couple of things when I felt the energy behind your reading. I picked up the energy of buffalo, and I picked up the energy of whale. Those are both like, well, the buffalo is like a pack animal where they kind of run. It's like when one buffalo runs, they all run, right? It's a stampede. So there's, again, it's like going with the flow. If you see one buffalo moving, then you move with them. And it's like, you're just seeing the signs. It's like, if you see something that needs to be done, you do it. And the whale, well, the whale is all about kind of like dreams. The whale is almost like, it stands for dispersal of consciousness. So kind of like a dream state or a dream-like state where you're very, where your consciousness is very dispersed. You're not focused on anything, if that makes any sense. Like, you're aware very little about a lot. And that's kind of the energy for your week. Now let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. We've got the Lovers. Interesting. And so there's where the buffalo comes in. It's like where the you're letting the other person take the reins, right? The buffalo stampedes. When one buffalo starts stampeding, they can all start stampeding. So it's kind of like saying you're letting your partner take the reins. It's like, what do you want for dinner? What do you want to do tonight? What do you want to watch today? Letting the other person kind of like decide what's happening and going with the flow. All right, there doesn't seem to be anything major going on with you guys for this week, but let's keep going with the reading. I'm sure we'll get some interesting advice here regardless. But let's pull oracle cards next. See what else we can find out. Tell me about buffalo and whale. What else is going on with Scorpio? Okay, interesting. So now we've got some indecision. And that's kind of the reason why you defer to some other person for your decisions or for what's going on. Indecision. That's Pisces with the foot. What are we going to do? Like I said, like, I don't know what I want to have for dinner. I don't know what I want to watch. Well, what do you want to do, right? Deferring to someone else and then going with that someone else is what you guys are doing. And then the number 7 is, it's not a number for indecision, but the number 7 has to do with weight. So it's kind of like the weight of not being able to decide. Maybe because you have good reasons to for both things, right? If there's two choices, you have a lot of good reasons for both. And so it puts a weight on the decision, and it's just saying you can't make the choice. And so you just go with whatever the other person. Now I'm just repeating myself. Okay, let's pull some advice. See if there's any advice to be had. I don't see what the problem is here, but let's see if we get any advice for you guys. Any advice here for Scorpio regarding this spread? I mean, I don't really see what the issue is. Oh shit. Well, there's the issue. 7 of Swords. You're lying to yourself, or someone's lying. So 7 of Swords is deceit. Let's see what, I'm gonna need more cards, but this just got juicy. Let's see what comes, okay. Wow. So you end up doing things that you don't wanna do, based on indecision. Look, you're lying to yourself that, you know, this is a good thing. It's like, that you, basically what you're saying is, it's not worth figuring it out. That's what you're saying, and that's the lie. It's not worth brainstorming to try to figure out what I want to have for dinner. I'm always just going to ask what they want to have for dinner. And now, this isn't obviously just about dinner. This can apply to serious things in your life. So apply that as it, you know, resonates for you. But then the King of Cups is grumpy. It's like, well, I didn't really enjoy dinner because I let somebody else pick it, and I didn't really bother to brainstorm to try to figure it out myself. So you give up. You give up making choices for yourself because it's easier. It's just easier to go with the other person. And you end up unhappy because of it. And this could be a pattern, or this could just be happening this week for you. But I'm guessing the advice, we're going to pull advice, but I'm guessing the advice is going to say to maybe try to figure out what you want rather than always just deferring to other people. I mean, let's pull advice though. Any advice here for my Scorpios? Any advice for Scorpio? Wow. What do you like? I mean, we've got Venus and coal. It's almost like you don't like anything. It's like, do you hate all food? Are you that picky an eater that you hate all food and you can't come up with something good? Are you that like just disgruntled that you can't pick a show? That everything kind of is whatever and it sucks? There's something here about figuring out what you actually like. And that being part of the problem. If you can't figure out what you like, then maybe that's why you never find things that you like to do. Because you just go with the other person. You never take the time to figure out what you really wanted to do in the first place. Let's see what else there is here, actually, on the bottom. The bread. So like I said, we could be talking about food. We could literally be talking about what you're gonna have for dinner, and you can never really figure that out. But I think it's more than that. It's more than that because we've got Virgo and the moon. The moon's your habits, and Virgo is anything that is specific. So it's like if there's anything that's highly specific, you would rather not take the time to figure it out because it's work and just go with anything. And then you end up kind of like just disgruntled, or it's very mediocre, and it all goes back to the fact that you don't really have a solid understanding of your own likes and dislikes. Okay, I think that's going to be a reading, Libra signs. I hope that made some sense to you. That was a little bit of a weird reading. Thank you guys for being here regardless. If you did like this video and you want to support the work that I do, you can check out Patreon. Links should be below. There's some cool stuff over there. I've got some love readings. I've got some monthly readings for you guys. So check that out. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.